What's up, guys? Welcome to Gwhisky. My name's Jeff. This is a channel where I offer my thoughts and opinions on a specific whiskey, and if you stick around to the end, I'll be giving it a score as well. If that sounds interesting, hit subscribe down below. And with that out of the way, let's jump into our review. Today, we're looking at the Glenmorangie 12, The Accord. Stick around. So it's a Glenmorangie today. I've got the 12-year-old Accord. This is one of the lesser known ones, but this bottle is a little bit special to me. I recently flew back to Taiwan from Canada, and here in Taiwan we have a mandatory quarantine policy for anyone who's returning from abroad, which means you usually have to spend minimum 1, usually 2 weeks in a quarantine hotel. And I don't know how many of you out there have spent time in quarantine. I'm sure a fair number. It sucks. It really sucks. So what did I do while I was bored out of my mind in a hotel room all by myself for a week? That's right, I drank. And I actually only had 2 bottles of whiskey to help me survive that boredom in the hotel room. One was the Alberta Premium Cask Strength, which I brought back from Canada, and the other was our Glenmorangie Accord here. So both bottles have kind of a special place in my heart. They helped me survive that week in a hotel room. Poor me. So this one is a travel retail exclusive. Obviously, it's 12 years old. It is matured in American oak bourbon barrels and then finished in Oloroso sherry barrels. And I actually hadn't heard of this bottle prior to picking it up. This one was released in 2019, but again, it's a travel retail exclusive, and for some odd reason, I haven't been flying very much over the last couple years. But beyond that, I haven't heard much like chatter online about this one. I wouldn't say it's a popular whiskey or that a lot of people know about it. To be fair, travel retail exclusives are rarely the talk of the town, but still a little bit weird that I heard absolutely nothing about it. Now, this one is actually part of a set of 3 travel retail exclusives. It starts off with our 12-year-old Accord here. There's also a 14-year-old Elementa. That one is, I think, finished in charred virgin oak. And then you have the 16-year-old Tribute, which is lightly peated. Online reviews do seem to have this one as the best bang for your buck from the range. I wouldn't know, I haven't tried all 3. But yeah, despite not being very popular, it does seem like the people who have tried this one like it. I mean, they're not raving about it, but generally speaking, the reviews for this one are pretty positive. Now, I like Glenmorangie, I like their house style, of course I like sherry, and I like discovering new whiskeys, especially if they're good, obviously. So let's find out if this one's any good. Let's jump into our review, see what our whiskey's all about, and in the meantime, if you could kindly leave a like down below, that'd be greatly appreciated. Alright, so this is a Glenmorangie Travel Retail. Let's not get too excited here. This one comes in at 43% ABV. It's chill filtered. It's colored. Bah. Unnatural color here. This is basically just another typical Glenmorangie bottle, which isn't a bad thing. I don't mind the Glenmorangie bottles, but they might have done more to differentiate this one from their other sherry 12-year-old, the Lasanta. Same bottle, same color scheme, practically identical. But yeah, still, the look is fine. Presentation, 3.5 out of 5. They do tell us that it was Oloroso sherry that was used. They do call it a finish directly, which I appreciate. They didn't try and call it like the Glenmorangie duo because 2 types of casks were used. No, they just called it a finish. They're not going to brag about weak specs here. Bottle's fine. It's standard fare, really. I don't water 43% whiskeys. Let's try the nose. Sherry, definitely some nice sherry to this. Yeah, so this isn't like, it's not quite as sweet or generic as the Lasanta, for example. This is more interesting, it's more complex. There's some oranges in here, cinnamon, nutmeg, butterscotch, sweet raisins, vanilla fudge, earth, wet oak, and cherry licorice, like cherry nibs in here if you've tried those. I like this. Let's try the palate. Okay. So the orange and spice kind of come in first. Cinnamon, gingerbread, blood oranges. There's some mulled wine in here. Just a little touch of coffee and some bitterness, like maybe dark chocolate or like baking chocolate. And now our finish. All right, so lingering orange candy, like orange lollipops, orange creamsicle. We have like those cherry liqueur dark chocolates that you get in a box. Coffee, but not like Americano coffee, maybe like something milky, so like a latte, a mocha, a cappuccino, something like that. Finish is a little bit short though. Alright, so I'm pretty happy that I grabbed this one. This is a really nice entry-level sherried whiskey. We have the house style, which is always good, and we have a nice sherried touch, and I mean really nice. We have like those orangey notes, those creamy notes, we have fruits and spices, wonderful flavors in here. And this one really has nothing to do with the Lasanta. Again, I think the brand should have done more to differentiate the bottles. The Lasanta goes in a sweet, somewhat obvious direction as far as I'm concerned, whereas this one goes in a more restrained, spicy direction. So, which do I prefer? Well, I prefer this one, and by quite a margin. This one is really nice. And you know, it's interesting, flavor-wise, in some ways, this is very much a Glenmorangie. We have that orangey, marmaladey, creamy house style, which I really enjoy. So the spirit influence is very much in Glenmorangie territory. But then the sherry finish actually gives off kind of a Macallan vibe for me. Macallan sherry for me is always like oranges, gentle spices. It's always much more complex than it has any right being. And I do feel like we get a little bit of that in our Accord here. I think they use some nice casks to finish this in. We have a restrained sweetness, we have more complexity, more spices. It might be that they use European sherry oak to finish the whiskey in. I'm not sure. Either way, I think some great casks were used. I think the sherry influence, specifically the sherry influence, not the spirit behind it, does give off a bit of a Macallan vibe, which of course I like. So I'm impressed with this one. This has an excellent character. For a sherried, entry-level 12-year-old, this is one of the best characters out there. But 43%, no bueno. Truly, this whiskey has everything going for it. And yes, it is brilliant at 43%, but it's a classic case of wasted potential. There's too many whiskeys out there like this where you love it, you love the flavors, you think the whiskey's fantastic, but at the end of the day, it's just too light. Our intensity here needs to be kicked up, our finish needs to be longer, and if they put this out as a member of their core range, or if they swapped out the Lasanta in favor of this one, this would be one of the best sherry 12-year-olds on the market. Anyway, this one is affordable, it is entry level, it does come in a generous 1-liter bottle size, and it's very commonplace for entry-level whiskeys like this, especially ones from big brands, to put out whiskeys at 43%, and usually I don't sweat it too much. I mean, I probably should, it's annoying, but this one bothers me. Thing is, usually other entry-level whiskeys aren't as good as this. This one is really interesting, it's got nice complexity, great flavors, and I just want more from it. As it is, I'm going to give this one an 85, it's too light, but tell you what, if this was actually craft presented, easily 87, 88. I mean, I'm sure this one would be my favorite affordable Glenmorangie out there. As it stands, I still do like it a lot. I'm going to recommend it to you guys. I think it's worth checking out. Definitely needs more heft, but great sherried influence. The Glenmo spirit is always on point. This is legitimately nice stuff. So our value is pretty good here. Again, this one comes in a 1-liter bottle size. It is more expensive than the Lasanta, but that's fine. It's a better whiskey. It's closer to the Quinta Rubin, the 14-year-old, and the Nectar d'Or when you factor in the bottle size. And you know, I really do like that Glenmorangie 14 Quinta Rubin. That one's a port finish. It's an excellent whiskey. This one would be, could be, should be better than that one. Character-wise, I actually do prefer this one, but again, 43% here, 46% with the Quinta Rubin. So as a value buy, I am going to recommend the Quinta Rubin first, but this one is a strong second. It's a great whiskey. I'm recommending it to you guys. You know, I hope Glenmorangie gives us more releases in this vein. I think they're onto something here. All right, that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to help support the channel, please consider becoming a patron. Otherwise, you can like, comment, subscribe. It's always appreciated. And I do want to hear from you. Have you tried our Glenmorangie 12 The Accord? What were your thoughts? Finally, down in the comments below, let me know what you want to see me review next. I'll keep it in mind for my upcoming videos. Bye, guys.